Hi guys, this is Taylor, Kevin, and Justin working on William Glacier's choice theory and who he is and what is choice theory involving with classroom management. So let's get started. William Glacier, he was born on May 11th, 1925 in Ohio, and from there he attended college at Case Western, and at this time he received his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. And that career was short-lived because he decided to, or he was drafted into the Army and was there for quite a while. And then once he left the Army, he returned to Case Western in 1947, where he got his master's degree in clinical psychology, and then received his doctorate in psychiatric medicine and things like that. From there, he went on to write many books. And one of those books he originally titled Control Therapy, and then he went up to choice theory. The choice theory is the idea that we control our own behavior by our choices, right? So, and our behavior is based off of the feelings of whatever it is during that situation and the needs and the wants that we have. So choice theory is really broken down as to the power of our behavior through our choices. And it seems very self-explanatory and it makes a lot of sense, but it's very broken down into many different ways. So we'll look at that. The key concepts of the choice theory is number 1 is basic needs. Then you have number 2, quality world. 3 is reality and perception. 4 is comparing place. And 5 is total behavior. So those are the 5 we'll be focusing on right now. With basic needs, it sounds as if what it is, and it's the needs that we need in order to live each and every day, and that's broken down into 5 categories. So you have survival, love and belonging, power, freedom, and fun. With survival, self-explanatory, the things we have to do to survive. Love and belonging. With nurturing, it's really, really close to nurturing, what we need to do day by day, how we survive with love and belonging and feeling of being nurtured and loved by one another. Power is exactly how it sounds. How do we build in the society we live in? How do we get to that higher arc, and how is that used? Freedom is the power of choice and how we can live our lives. And then fun is making sure we break down all this busy work into fun, and how we make that so that we can survive and we're not all crammed into things like work and no play. Quality world is the emotional part of being a human being, especially with students, and how things are important to us is based off whether or not we're going to be successful. So if something is meaningful, we're going to remember it and we put it into our minds as a quality world. So we break things down in importance and which one is the highest, which one's the lowest of how we remember things, and if they're meaningful. If it's not meaningful, we're not going to remember it, and that's one of those key things that William really wants people to understand, is if there is no meaning, then our students are not going to learn. So we need to make sure that our students trust what their teachers are saying and also know how important it is of the topics that we are discussing with them. And that's pretty much the breakdown of quality world. Then you have reality and perception, and this is my favorite one because I try to incorporate this in my classrooms as much as possible. This is how students act based on what they believe is real. So if we have, for teaching something and the students feel as if it's not important, it's not meaningful, that's because they don't know if it's real or fake. And most of the times they don't feel as if it's important because why am I learning this? That's always the main question. So if teachers break down things with the way that they make the students see how this is relevant to the real world, then students become more appreciative and actually want to learn the material they're going to learn. So that's the reality and perception part. Then you have comparing place, and this is when students compare their lives to what they have and what they want. And we have tons of students, at least in my opinion, a lot of the students are like this, you know, they're talking about their shoes and their clothes and things like that, and they compare their life to, you know, celebrities or their friends into what they want versus what they actually need. And so that's what William incorporates as how students need to start comparing their lives, not just by materialistic things, but school, what do they need to have and not what they want to have. And so those are the breakdowns of that as well. Total behavior is broken down into 4 components. That's acting, thinking, feeling, and sociology or physiology. And so with that, that means that so acting is the way that we are physically, thinking is mentally, feeling is our emotions, and then with physiology is the idea that the things that are around us and how we incorporate that. So this is based off what William believes our behavior is based upon and why we are the way that we are. So with those 4 categories, he mixes in how behavioral can be monitored and controlled with these 4 categories. Choice theory, so that was basically it. We have the 5 categories once again. That's basic needs, 2 is quality world, 3 is reality and perception, 4 is comparing place, and 5 is total behavior. And with this, this is what makes up the choice theory. Students use and need all 5 of these in the classroom in order to want to learn what the teacher is teaching them. So it's really important as teachers that we focus on these 5 things while we're teaching so that students are able to understand why it is we're teaching them what we are. So that's pretty much our presentation on William Glaser, and this is the choice theory. Thanks, guys.